Have you ever wondered how you could take steps to massively improve the environment, but just didn't know how? Hi, my name is Dan, and I'm really excited to tell you about a way that you could be a force to change the most destructive industrial practices that are being done which harms the environment as well as our bodies. I'd like to give you an opportunity to participate in something that will fundamentally change modern agriculture and revolutionize how we eat and care for the environment through the use of sustainable farming practices. I grew up like most people in urban and suburban America. I went to all the supermarkets most people do and ate the same foods everyone else did. After a while, I started getting sick, really sick. I went to half a dozen doctors who ran all kinds of tests on me. Their answer to me was to take prescription injections that would suppress my immune system. This was crazy to me. This treatment will only deal with the symptoms of my illness and not the cause, as well as make me vulnerable to all kinds of other illnesses, including cancer. There had to be another way. That's when I began looking at the foods I ate. Was the food that is being eaten by most Americans making me sick? I did my research and found out the answer was yes. I dropped the sodas and fast food and started to eat nutritious, organic, and wholesome produce. My health began to improve every day. What I discovered next came as a complete shock to me. The food I was previously eating wasn't just making me sick, it was also destroying the environment and treating animals unethically. I began to learn about horrible farming practices, some that had been with us a long time and others new. I wasn't satisfied in just making myself healthy anymore. I wanted everyone to experience the same health benefits as me, while turning back the forces that are destroying our shared environment. Plowing for annual food production is degrading our soil, which exposes the ground to erosion, oxidizes organic matter, and contributes to pollution of our waterways at an alarming rate. Industrial agriculture is the biggest consumer of fossil fuels as well, with up to 40% being used towards producing artificial fertilizers and pesticides needed to make up for the deficiencies in our soil from unsustainable farming practices. Big Agri is even upping the ante by using genetically modified seeds and concentrated animal feeding operations, which overcrowds animals in the most inhumane and unethical conditions. This horrible industrial farming also overwhelms the environment with a concentration of animal waste and requires massive use of antibiotics to kill all the pathogens that are rampant because of this practice. These practices are not sustainable and will eventually lead to a collapse in our food system. I started a quest to learn what can be done to change these practices and implement sustainable farming. What I found was incredible and created a passion in me to become the change I wanted to see in the world. Through permaculture, a methodology in agricultural design that mimics nature, and restoration agriculture, which aims to restore our ancient perennial biomes to feed humanity on a broad acre scale that rivals and surpasses traditional annual farming practices. These are proven methods that doesn't just halt the destruction, but rejuvenates and strengthens the environment by creating diverse ecology that doesn't require petrochemical, pest, and disease control, creating thick topsoil naturally without the use of fertilizers and herbicides. Through implementation of these methods, we are able to produce all the staple food crops necessary in a healthy diet on a large scale, using perennial plants that continue to produce food for decades and even centuries without the destruction to the ecology found with annual farming. But we need your help. We need to raise funds to implement broadacre permaculture as a profitable model that can be reproduced across the country. Please consider helping us by purchasing our shirts for yourself, family, or as a gift. Our aim isn't to spend any money lobbying Congress or passing any laws to make the lives of hard-working folks any harder. The aim is simply to create a model of farming that outcompetes against the destructive farming practices with sustainable farming, because these sustainable farming practices are just that productive and profitable. Join with us as we take back our health and environment. Our plan is to raise money to purchase a farm and apply sustainable farming practices as we share and document our progress. Once the farm is established, we will aid in reproducing this model across the country. All the profits from the sale of shirts will be used towards the cost of the farm and necessary earthworks, as well as perennial trees, shrubs, and plants. Buy a shirt that tells everyone where your principles and priorities are. Then, tell a friend by sharing on Facebook and Twitter, and opt into our email list to get all the updates as we make this dream a reality. Together, we can make a difference that will be felt for generations to come.